navigator dog. Really enjoying the weather now. We're due for a haircut. Now that it's getting warmer, time to shear them. Actually spent 6 days in Thorne. So it gave us the opportunity to stock up the larder again, see some people that we know from when we bought the boat, because this is where we originally bought the boat, was from Thorne, Nationwide Narrowboat Sales, and say hello to them. Shortly we're coming up to a fairly twisty section because of the overgrowth of the trees. It's a little bit overgrown and narrows it off a bit. You just keep an eye out for traffic coming in the opposite direction. Before we head back to Castleford to continue our cruising pattern for the summer, we're just going to go back down to Goole, fill up with diesel again. Towing the boat. Did use a little bit more diesel than normal, although these engines run very well at low revs. We increased our diesel consumption by about 50%. And as some of the areas we're going to be cruising don't have a supplier of diesel, we'll just top it all off and start again. It will mean the videos may be a little bit disjointed because that whole section we've already done. We'll see how things go. This is the twisty section of the canal. Very peaceful, birds singing all around us. Temperature's definitely climbing, and methinks it's going to be a factor 50 day today, as the English sun can burn, especially when you're lily white as I am from the winter cover up. It will be nice to get a little bit of colour. We're no longer lighting the fire. In the morning sometimes we just light it up for an hour or two, but no longer stays lit 24/7. It's warm enough to not need it. Morning's temperature, say, a little bit low, 3 or 4 degrees. And if I haven't had the fire going through the night, boat temperature drops to about 12. Well, it just means a few more layers of clothes, but dogs are not always comfortable with that sort of temperature. But when the sun shines, it soon warms it up. Today forecast is for 23 degrees. So it's very pleasant. Wally's far more active. No, he doesn't hide under the blankets. It's a good look round. In Thorne, I did some boat maintenance, tightened up the stern gland where the prop shaft goes through the hull out into the water. It's got packing in it, so occasionally you just tweak it up, reduce the water ingress. Of course, you don't really want water coming into a boat. Refilled the greaser. That's a plunger arrangement which forces grease into the stern gland. A, it lubricates, and B, it also seals off any slight dripping of water. Normally I would give that a couple of turns every time we cruise, just to keep it sealed. There is a pump, automated pump in there, see in the bilge, so if there is water comes in, it automatically pumps it out again. For a bit of peace of mind. You can run it manual as well if you want to. Automatic is the way with it. And topped out the oil in the gearbox. That was a little bit low. The gearbox has got a weep on the output shaft seal, but nothing significant. It's very low revving. I just thought, and also tighten the belt on the engine battery alternator. That was a little bit loose. That's just a standard V-belt. On the big house battery alternator, the 200 amp, it's got a flat belt with the grooves. The engine alternator sometimes does tend to scream if it's a little bit loose. All is good now. Still got about 150 hours till the next service. It's a minor service. The next one is just oil filter and oil. It's oil out the engine and oil out the gearbox. You change both at the same time. They're not linked, so it's two separate compartments. It's a hydraulic gearbox on this boat. Dog has seen a reflection running along the side of the canal, so I think that's what he's very interested in. Oh, no, it's gone. not sure what he intends to do if he sees something. He's normally very good on the roof, because quite often when we're moored up he sits on the roof for hours, and other dogs go past and he doesn't normally have a problem unless they sort of challenge him in any way. Certainly if they come towards him on the edge of the boat, then he gets a bit upset and leaps up and down. Sometimes you can hear his claws scrabble a little bit. Generally he's very well behaved. Now he sees a dog, so he expects a sweet shortly. He'll probably turn and look at me with a needy look in his eye. And a good look around. Maybe. Here we go. Yeah. Whoa. Stay in your basket, you twerp. Need satisfied, that is sweet. When we first had him on the roof, he used to react to anything and anybody on the towpath, but he's very good now. He's learned what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do. This section here is a wharf, an old wharf. Used to load coal here. Now it's more a track for motorcyclists. It's got some undulations, it's got mud when it's wet. It's got everything that bikers enjoy. Off-road bikers anyway. Here we're coming up to a couple of, like an S-bend section. And we'll be going through a narrowing gap where there used to be a swing bridge. It's long gone. I think it was just a feeder across between the farms. Now it's just a narrow gap. Keep you on your toes. Not so much in this one, but in a wide beam here, it's a little bit of a squeeze. Now that the weather's turned, start doing the sort of spring maintenance, wash and polish the boat on the outside. Inside you give it a good clean out, because no matter how careful you are, when you're burning a fire, there's always some dust collects in nooks and crevices. So We give it a good clean out, wash down, spring clean. Take out the wedges used to keep the windows or the portholes semi-closed, because they only have two settings normally, that's open and closed. But we use pegs to keep them fractionally open, so there's still ventilation going through the boat in winter, fresh air all the time. Also need to touch up some of the paintwork along the gunnels where I've bumped the boat. Treat any rust patches. And so the normal spring TLC, clean the canopy, reseal it, clean the back cover, reseal that as well. Those aren't the easiest of jobs. The back one we can get in a washing machine, the front one is very much hand cleaning and resealing. Because it always gets the green moss-like stuff on it. Also being red, which was glorious when we first bought it, just tend to show the dirt a bit. It is 5 years old now, so it's still going well. We did have new zips fitted 2 years ago. And it's because it's our main sort of entrance into the boat, the zips do have to work quite hard. Normally the zips are good for 2 years, so we managed 3. Probably get 3 out of this one as well. And then a little bit later on in the year, so at June time, I take the chimney off. I sweep the chimney with a brush, sweep the chimney, clean out the fire, put it away for summer, touch up the chimney, treat it for rust, and then we put a cap on it until end of October. Just becomes an ornament in the corner of the boat. Ahead of us is Stainforth. There is a marina on the right hand side, Thorne Boat Club. It has a basin, which I believe used to be a loading basin. There's quite a few boats moored up, and then there's moorings down the side of the canal. They call linear moorings, where the boat's tied up along its side rather than on finger moorings. Here there is several variations of Dutch barges, and also some converted commercials that used to carry coal. Bit of look in there. Majority cruisers and narrow boats. And also the big ones. Linear moorings here. Here we have a swan on her nest. When we were towing through here the other day, the male swan got quite angry with a cruiser and was attacking it. I can only assume it was the noise it was making, or maybe it was the fact that it had fenders flapping around the side of it, which were white, but it was a very angry swan. Here we're coming up to a fairly narrow bridge. It's on a blind corner as well, so you have to be a little bit cautious coming through. Watch for other boats. Slow it down a bit just in case you need to hang on a bit. Okay, let's see how this works. I'm going to give a blast on the hooter. Hopefully that didn't deafen everybody. I must admit, on the many times we've come through this bridge, there's only once we met anybody coming the other way, so with the rule of averages, whatever. So you don't want to get stamped in here. And if you look along the side of the bridge, you can see where boats have met up with it many times. Clear through there. Nice houses on the side here.